Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite EnerJoe, and today I'll be bringing you my review of the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe class Rampage. And here he is in his alt mode, which is it's based on a Komatsu D575A bulldozer, and here it is. And check out all of those details. Check it out. Nice little paint apps, nice amounts of detail all over. Nice touch with the red cab, very nice. And as you can see, yeah, this is gonna be my biggest complaint with the vehicle mode, is that this little piece here doesn't connect anywhere. It just sits there. What I do is I just jam it in there. And sometimes you get it, if you adjust it right, it'll stay there. But it, yeah, it can get loose very easily. But yeah, that aside, it's a very, I think, what is it? Visually speaking, this is a very, very nice vehicle mode. And pretty accurate to the actual vehicle. The actual construction vehicle. Although it is annoying that this gap is here and I couldn't really find a way to close it. It's just supposed to be like that. But it's minor things. Still, it's a very, very nicely done vehicle mode. The treads here are actually made of rubber, but they are non-functional. Instead, this has 4 tiny wheels here on the bottom, and they don't really work. At least on my figure, the rolling, it doesn't really work. In terms of like other points of articulation, the actual shovel, I think this is I'm pretty sure this is called the shovel, can move up and down a little bit. It'll cause this thing to fall off, but it can move up and down a little. And then these back scoops can also move independently. It's kind of nice. So yeah, overall it's a very, very nice vehicle mode, although not entirely functional, if that makes any sense, because this is just really annoying, and the wheels don't particularly work, at least on my figure. So, vehicle mode aside, let's get on with transformation. Now, Rampage here technically has 3 modes. He has his bulldozer mode, and then he has two variations of his robot mode. The first is referred to as something called the Jackhammer mode, which I will show first. So let's get on with transformation. The first thing to do is to have this thing dangle there. It's very important. Lift that up. Oh, you gotta go over here and separate this. The transformation is a bit involved, but after a couple times, you can get used to it. You just have to probably transform a couple times. And there we go. Separate this, and then here you pop forward, pop forward. This will be for. You can actually separate this from like here, and it's supposed to detach. I try not to, but you can if you really want to. Although apparently the actual shovel itself can turn into some kind of stand. So actually, you know what? Detach it. If you really want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can detach it just to make things easier. If you find that this piece gets in the way while transforming it. So to the first mode, to his Jackhammer mode, then you come over here, open this up, then separate. Pop this out, this down, and then from this point, straighten out and then rotate it to have this facing this way. Let me lift this up to get a better angle. Then you come to this part. When you bring this piece down, you get the nice little head reveal. Then this will fold back. No, this not yet. Then you have to go here, open this up. Bring this assembly down like so, and then this is where you can reattach the shovel for this part. Then for here, you then go here, bring this up, and then connect this down here to sort of have it wedged in there, and then this you just angle it, and then adjust it, and then you come over here and rotate this for the arms. And there you have it. This is basically his robot mode. He does have an extra step, but I'll show that off later for his weapon. But for this part, I'll show off, this is his Jackhammer mode. And the reason for this is that his legs up front here when you, oh, I forgot to do this part. You're supposed to lift this up, and I think, hold on. This is supposed to lift up. There we go. Lift up, fold, open that up to do that, and then bring this assembly down like so. This is how the back is supposed to be. And reattach it there, adjust, do that. There we go. There is an extra step for his arms, but I'm not gonna mess with it now because that'll lead into his weapon. Because I'm just gonna show off his jackhammer mode. So then when you bend this forward like so, it's actually on a spring. See, his leg's on a spring. So the idea is that it does this action. It's also the very tips of his feet here are rubberized, so you can, or they're rubber, so you can do this. So this is his jackhammer mode. And apparently, you can hook this up here. Somehow, you can connect this, and this becomes some kind of stand. I don't see how, but apparently you can put him on this. So let me just transform this a bit. And reconnect them. You can connect these together like so. And then apparently this is some kind of stand, so I guess you can put them on here somehow. So yeah, apparently I have yet to figure out how to do this, but apparently the shovel can be separated and it becomes a stand for his jackhammer mode. I honestly don't know how to do it. I guess like this. Hold on, I guess you just scoop them like this. Just dig it in there. I mean, it's something. Look, I haven't figured out how to do it, but apparently you can use this. I read it up online. You can use this as a stand for his jackhammer mode. Now, and also. No, I'll mention that later in the I guess fact or trivia section later. And so let me just show off a little bit of this mode since he's a lot slimmer. Check out the head sculpt, really nice. He does have light piping, but it's not very strong. I guess because of the really dark red they use, it doesn't really shine that much. So now let's go on to his actual robot mode, which you can do by just reconnecting this. Reconnecting this, and then connecting these here. You just gotta angle it a bit. There we go, reconnect it like so. Then take these extra parts, which will then become, which you can then separate, you can then just move it here, to then become an extra pair of legs. Then for here, you separate, really tough, you separate the front legs, and then angle them to get 4 legs. And here we have them like so. So now the next part, which I waited till now, is that you can take this section here, lift it up, sort of separate it here, and feed it through the arms. And this piece, fold. This is like the way to transform the arms, and then this you separate out. And now you have more room for articulate. Now you can actually fold this all the way back. There's articulation, and you get his weapon. Repeat it over here. There's like one section here where you can disconnect, take around, feed it through, fold out, and then push it all the way back. And this is how you transform his arms. And here he is in his actual robot mode. And for the jackhammer mode, you just do the same thing with the arms and just, reconnect everything. And also for the jackhammer mode, you can have this folded up like completely. Like something like this. This is how it would be if you folded it up in his jackhammer mode, but it doesn't. But it looks way too bulky, like something like this. Hold on. This is how I put it. This would be it folded up in his jackhammer mode. But it's a bit too much, so if you want a more slimmer version, I recommend just removing this off and then trying to make it a stand. Seriously, I had no idea that was supposed to be a stand. Still haven't gotten it to work, but apparently that it can be used as a stand. Really hope that Wikipedia is not lying to me on that one. But it does kind of resemble a stand when I was when you saw me fiddling with it. Let me just adjust. Oh, and also these legs, when you turn them forward, they're both just connected. So the legs aren't really on their own except when you go in and out. When you try and move up and down, like forward and back, they're connected together. So just tweak them out, get his 4 legs, and there. Enough with the fiddling. So yeah, the transformation is not too complicated, but it might throw you off, especially with this piece that doesn't connect anywhere in his vehicle mode. But yeah, there he is. Oh, and the mecha-like features is more present here. You can tell when this moves up and down, and this is Mecha Life, and it's not. Here we go. I'm just gonna show it. See these pistons? Yeah, that's his Mecha Life. It's more noticeable in his Jackhammer mode, even though I didn't really see it myself, but so he's a bit finicky. There we go. Then you just push these back. There. Yeah, Rampage in his robot mode, which is, he's got 4 legs, which is really cool. And from what I've heard, and I do kind of see it, it's very crab-like. It's a very crab-like design, which is, like his name suggests, might be an homage to the Beast Wars Rampage, who was a giant crab. So that is very neat. That is a very nice little detail, since in the movie, his design was the Jackhammer mode. That's how he looked like in the movie. You know, hopping around on one single giant drill spring or whatever. He didn't have these 4 legs, but these 4 legs have an extra. Well, you can stand them up on these 4 legs, and it does make him look very crab-like, which is very cool. Same thing with his face. It is kind of crab-like, although I might just be seeing things. And yeah, and also these were his weapons from the movie, which his treads just became these very powerful scrapey whips, which you can just swing around like so. And they work. If you just swing them around, they do work like that. Although because of this, his arms doesn't really have any articulation. Another thing, check out all this detail. It's not entirely movie accurate because, you know, his Jackhammer mode is how he looked like in the movie, but still very nice amounts of detailing if you like look up really close, like the gears, the cogs, panels, just detail all over. Really very, very nice. So in terms of articulation, he doesn't really have much, mainly because of his gimmick. These front legs don't really move much. His head is on a ball joint, but it's limited. You can just go up and down, and a tiny bit of side to side, and a little bit of waggling, so you can tilt his head a little. But all of this restricts it. For his arms, there's a hinge there, another hinge there. This can kind of move on its own, but that's for transformation. And that's it. Then the fingers can open and close, and the whip is just free-flowing. That's it. So the hands can open and close, and that's it. His arms don't really move much, but like I said, I think design-wise, it's a very neat design. Like I said, when I mentioned the front leg, he does have a waist swivel. He has a waist there. And when both legs move up, well, it's kind of locked because of the springing mechanism, so they do bounce back. So, yeah, it doesn't really have much leg articulation because of it. And each leg, because of the spring, bends like that. Oh, there's also this little piece here, which I forgot. I think this piece here... I actually forgot about this. I don't know what this little panel is for. I mean, it can't be for the Jackhammer mode because it gets in the way. Yeah, so this will be... So yeah, when you're transforming into his robot mode, make sure you pull out these panels. For what reason, I have no idea. But hey, just it's a thing. It's another thing you can do. There we go. Darn finicky transformation. All right. So yeah, oh, you also get a little bit of waist there at the knee, and a little bit of movement at the knee, and that's it for his legs. And for his back legs, you have hinge there and a hinge on this one, and they have like a double hinge here, one hinge there and one hinge there, so you have some movements for his back legs, which is neat. And that's about it. He doesn't really have that much articulation, but I think he makes up with it in sort of presence. Because this is a very cool design. It's very unique. Like, I like like I said, I like the crab-like nature of it, and I also like his weapons. I like the idea of the treads becoming weapons. I really like this figure of Rampage. My one real complaint is that I would have liked if he had a little bit more articulation. Because the Jackhammer mode is nice, but I would have liked if this had more articulation, not just dedicated to the spring, I guess the jackhammering feature. Also, the Mecha Life is really unnoticeable. This whole Mecha Life thing does get in the way of the, not of transformation, but there's nowhere to plug it in vehicle mode. But let's just say that overall, it's a very nice figure. I mean, I really like it. It's a very interesting and unique design. I mean, I haven't seen this before. It's very, you can say, insectoid or crustacean-like. You know, that's just, I think when I first heard that, I can't stop seeing the crab now. At first, I think it was just a really big, I think when I first saw this, I thought it was like a bug. But then when I read somewhere that it was supposed to be an homage to Rampage, I now cannot stop seeing the crab. But yeah, but one thing I really like is all the paint apps that this thing has. It has like silver and black paint applications everywhere. Like this thing has a lot of detail, which is very nice. And that's pretty much it. I like it. I think it's a very solid figure. The vehicle mode looks very nice, although it doesn't really do anything. It's basically a brick, but it looks very nice. Transformation, it's okay. It's an alright transformation. They could have maybe streamlined it a little bit more, but it's okay. I think both modes are cool. I think I like this one, his four-legged mode, a lot more than his jackhammer mode. But the jackhammer mode makes it more movie accurate, and it's a nice little feature. But hey, yeah, I personally really like this figure. I can kind of see that he's not really for everyone since he doesn't move that much. But I like him. And basically, and if you like what you see, you can go get him. I recommend him. I think he's a fine, fun little figure with a very unique both form and transformation. And this is just a personal thing. I just like that. I like a very unique and insectoid looking robots. Just a fan. I like it. It gets a thumbs up for me. I like it. Now for some trivia, Rampage here was repainted in the same line. Was it in the same line? Yeah, he was repainted into a red Rampage to make it more movie accurate. However, and I think he did get like a weird gift set repaint, which was like red with like a bunch of other colors. But yeah, about the red Rampage. In the movie, when Rampage popped up and was fighting Bumblebee, Rampage wasn't yellow. He was red. However, in the movie, there are two Rampages. A yellow one that can combine into Devastator, and a red one that fights Bumblebee. So, here's a fun fact about this. I just recently found out that the red Rampage has its own name, and it's its own character by the name of Skipjack. Nothing much to really say there. I thought it was very interesting, but yeah. So yeah, in the film, you have the yellow Rampage, which is called Rampage, and the red version of the character is called Skipjack. I found that to be the most interesting thing ever. I don't know how canon that is, but the research that I looked for and from what I've heard from other fans is that yeah, he's referred to as Skipjack, which is cool. So yeah, overall, I think this is a very nice and solid and very unique figure, and I highly recommend it. I really like this guy. So yeah, that has been my review of the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Class Rampage. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.